Hello children, today let us continue the second part of History Chapter 1, Advent of Europeans to India. In this video you will learn about the arrival of English and French in India, their competition in India, First Carnatic War, Second Carnatic War and the Third Carnatic War. First let us see how the English reached India as the traders. On 31st December 1600, Queen Elizabeth issued a royal charter authorizing the East India Company to trade with eastern countries for 15 years. Queen Elizabeth of England granted permission to the East India Company to trade with India and other eastern countries. The British East India Company reached India and started the business formally in 1613. The Mughal Emperor Jahangir issued a royal permission to English to establish their first warehouse or factory at Surat. So the East India Company got permission from the Mughal king Jahangir to trade in India. He gave permission to the English to establish their first factory or warehouse at Surat. So the first factory of the English East India Company was started at Surat. In 1617, Sir Thomas Roe arrived at the court of Jahangir as the royal ambassador from the court of James I. He sought permission from Jahangir to establish factories in other places of Mughal Empire. In the year 1617, Sir Thomas Roe arrived at the court of Jahangir and he sought permission from Jahangir to establish the factories in other places of Mughal Empire. So the first factory of the British in India is Surat. The English established their factories at Agra, Ahmedabad and Bhuj. In the year 1639, the English took Madras from the king of Chandragiri and established a strong fort named St. George Fort. So the first factory established by the English in India is Surat. After that, they established their factories at Agra, Ahmedabad and Bhuj. In the year 1639, they took Madras from the king of Chandragiri and established a strong fort named St. George Fort. Children, which is the fort established by the English in Madras? That is St. George Fort. Children, observe in the map. First, they established their factory at Surat. You can see here Surat. Next is Agra near Delhi. You can see Agra. Ahmedabad in Gujarat and Bhuj. Next one is Madras. Where is Madras? You can see here Chennai. Now Madras is called as Chennai. Later, Charles II, the Prince of England, gave Bombay on an annual rent of £10 to East India Company in the year 1668. Charles II, the Prince of England, gave Bombay to East India Company on rent. In 1690, the English purchased 3 villages, namely Sutanauti, Kalikata and Govindapura on the banks of Hooghly River and built Fort William. Later, the city of Calcutta grew around this fort. Children, observe in the map. You can see Bombay. Where is Bombay? Bombay is here and you can see Calcutta. The fort which was built by the British in Kolkata or Calcutta was Fort William. By the 17th century, the English had established Bombay, Madras and Calcutta as the centers of their presidencies. By the later part of 18th century, the English made Calcutta as their capital city. They implemented their own civil and criminal procedure codes in the areas that were under their control. Children, name the factories established by the British in India. First one is Surat, Agra, Ahmedabad, Bhuj, Madras or Chennai. French. The French East India Company was started as a government-owned company in the year 1664. It started its first factory at Surat in the year 1668. Later, they established its factories in Machilipatnam, Chandranagore, Mahe, Karaikal, Kasim Bazar and Balasore. Children, observe in the map. Here you can see Surat, Machilipatnam, Chandranagore, Mahe, Karaikal, Balasore. In 1674, The French took Valikandapuram from a local Muslim official and developed it as a major trade center. Later, it came to be known as Puducherry or Pondicherry. Puducherry or Pondicherry located near Madras. You can observe that in the map. Dupleix arrived in Pondicherry as the Governor General of the French in the year 1746. He had the high ambitions of establishing the French as a major power in South India. This ambition of establishing French as a major power in South India led to the Carnatic Wars with the English. Who was the French Governor General responsible for the Carnatic Wars? He was Dupleix. The competition between English and French. The Portuguese and the Dutch had withdrawn from India, unable to withstand the competition from French and the English by 18th century. The Portuguese and the Dutch couldn't face competition from French and the English, so they withdrew from India. Finally, French and English restored to show off strength in order to establish their political supremacy over India. Meanwhile, political instability arose in the regions of Hyderabad and Carnatic, that is eastern part of Tamil Nadu, and both the English and French tried to exploit the situation in their favor, and this led to 3 Carnatic Wars. In the beginning, both the French and the English engaged only in trade, but later they started to interfere in the politics of India. There was political instability in the regions of Hyderabad and Carnatic. Children, you can observe where is Carnatic region, which is shaded in green color. So there was political instability in Hyderabad and Carnatic, and both the English and the French tried to exploit the situation in their favor, and they interfered in the Indian politics, and this led to 3 Carnatic Wars. Now let us learn about the first Carnatic War. On the request of Dupleix, La Bourdonnais, a French military leader from Mauritius, invaded Madras and captured Madras. A French military leader named La Bourdonnais invaded Madras and captured it. This forced the helpless British to request the help of Anwaruddin, the Nawab of Carnatic. What did Anwaruddin did? He sent his army, but he failed to defeat the French at Madras. Finally, the French military leader took money from the English and returned Madras to the English, and he went back to Mauritius. This enraged Dupleix. Why? Because he requested La Bourdonnais, the French military leader, to invade Madras. Without informing him, the French military leader took money from the English and returned Madras. So Dupleix got angry, and Dupleix attempted to take Madras, but he failed. Finally, the war ended with a treaty in Europe between France and England. In Europe, a war was going on between France and England. There, France and England signed a treaty named Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. Because of this treaty, even in India, the first Carnatic War ended. Second Carnatic War. The Nizam of Hyderabad, Asaf Jah, died in the year 1748. As a result of this, there arose a war of succession between his son Nazir Jung and his daughter's son Muzaffar Jung for the throne. In these changing circumstances, French made Salabat Jung, another son of Asaf Jah, as the Nizam of Hyderabad. An officer named Bassi was stationed in Hyderabad for his protection by the French. French appointed or French made Salabat Jung, another son of Asaf Jah, as the Nizam of Hyderabad, and they appointed an officer named Bassi to give protection to Asaf Jah. This is what took place in Hyderabad. What happened in Carnatic? Let us see. In the Carnatic, a fight had broken out between Chanda Sahib and Anwaruddin in Carnatic. The French extended their support to Chanda Sahib in Carnatic, and the English extended their support to Anwaruddin. The French made Chanda Sahib as the Nawab of Carnatic. Robert Clive of British East India Company attacked Arcot, the capital of Carnatic, and defeated Chanda Sahib. Chanda Sahib, was imprisoned and later killed in the war. In the place of Chanda Sahib, the English named Muhammad Ali, the son of Anwaruddin, as the Nawab of Carnatic. The Second Carnatic War ended with the Treaty of Pondicherry. The French recalled Dupleix returned to France. This war brought laurels to English while French suffered a political setback. So because of this Second Carnatic War, the English became more famous and the French suffered a political setback. Now let us learn about the Third Carnatic War, which took place from 1756 to 1763. Count de Lally of the French attempted to besiege Wandiwash in the year 1760. Count de Lally tried to capture Wandiwash. In this decisive battle, Sir Eyre of the English army defeated the French and imprisoned Bussy. Who was Bussy? Bussy was a French officer. So Bussy was imprisoned by the British and Count de Lally escaped and hid in Pondicherry. Finally, Eyre attacked Pondicherry and Lally had to surrender unconditionally in the year 1761. What happened during the Third Carnatic War? Count de Lally of the French attempted to capture Wandiwash in 1760. Sir Eyre of the English army defeated the French and imprisoned Bussy. Lally escaped and hid in Pondicherry. So what Eyre did? He attacked Pondicherry and Lally had to surrender unconditionally in the year 1761. Thus, the French lost all the bases in India due to the Carnatic Wars. In spite of this, as per the Treaty of Paris signed in 1763, Pondicherry was returned to French. With these developments, the French lost their importance in India. In this way, the English, by defeating all their rivals, started consolidating their power in southern India. What was the impact of three Carnatic Wars? The French lost all the bases in India. As per the Treaty of Paris, Pondicherry was returned to French. Because of all these three Carnatic Wars, the French lost their importance in India. And the English, by defeating all their rivals, started consolidating, strengthening their power in southern India. Children, in the next video you will learn about the British rule in India, the two battles, namely Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar, which helped the English to strengthen their power in India. Thank you, children.